welcome to another video. I'm glad that you're here. If you're new, I hope you enjoy the content and choose to stay. Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your guys' support so much, so thank you for that. I wanted to talk a little bit today about diamond painting, but I wanted to talk about, are you a conventional diamond painter? Does it matter if you're a conventional diamond painter or not? What is a conventional diamond painter? What does that mean? So a conventional diamond painter is someone typically who uses, the canvas that's given to them that you purchase. Obviously you're using drills, you have to do that. Maybe, you just use a single placer, sometimes a multi-placer. You use wax, and kind of, just off-the-shelf kits. So just like how you would think of a conventional diamond painter, okay? Somebody who gets a kit, right? So you receive a kit, you receive the toolkit that it comes with, you receive the wax that it comes with, the pen that it comes with, and that's what you use. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. Actually, it's really, that's how I started. When I first started diamond painting, I would get a kit. Typically, I was purchasing from, because when I first started, I was purchasing from, budget companies. So I would get a green tray and a pad of wax and the pen, and that's how I started. I quickly learned that I needed to upgrade at least the tray, because the boat, let's call it the boat, because it just wasn't doing what I needed it to do. Hold on. Can you still see me if I do that? No. Okay. And it was driving me crazy. So when I was getting other kits, it would come with different styles of trays. So I wasn't purchasing trays when I first started. Okay. I wasn't purchasing anything. I wasn't. I was just, whatever came with the kits is what I was using. Do you know what I'm saying? So what is it? What do you not do that others do? What is something that you don't do that other people do? Because I can tell you there's a lot of things that I think that I don't do, or maybe I do that other people do. Okay. And sometimes I have an explanation, sometimes I don't. So we're just going to kind of try to go through these together. And this video is about you guys letting me know when I'm talking about certain things. I want your feedback. I want to hear back from you guys. What are you doing? What are you using? How do you do things? What makes you, a conventional diamond painter? Or maybe you're not. Maybe you're absolutely not. Maybe you create your own canvases, you do your own thing, okay? Because there's so much to it, right? So one of the things that I don't do with diamond paintings, okay, that might not be conventional, is I don't just buy premium canvases. I buy canvases from every price range. So Temu, I don't go on AliExpress or Shein. I've never been on those sites, but I do buy from Temu. I do buy from Amazon, and I buy kits that aren't premium canvas kits. So I don't just stick to premium canvases. Having said that, I do reverse image searches, okay, to do my best due diligence to see if it's stolen art or not. I do that. I need to stop saying do, but just keeps happening. So I do that. I make sure, to the best of my ability, You know, is this art okay? Because we all know how that works. So I don't just stick to premium canvases. I happen to like and enjoy budget canvases. I just do. And I know a lot of people don't, and that's perfectly fine. Look, by the way, just let me just say this, okay? There is no right or wrong thing that I'm going to talk about. So if I say I do this or I don't do that, and you do or you don't, you're the opposite. This isn't a contest or like, well, that means I'm doing it the right way, you're doing it the wrong way. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just going over things that kind of I don't do that I think conventional diamond painters do. And maybe I'm wrong. Let me know down in the comments. Let me know. So I will purchase from Temu, you know, a bunch of canvases. If I end up getting them and I don't like them, I use them for giveaways. If you're part of my channel, you know that I do giveaways pretty often on this channel on a regular basis. It's not always just budget-friendly companies. I do other types of giveaways as well. So that's, I think, one thing. I think there's a lot of people who, you know, either they only do premium or they only do budget. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that, okay? We're just having a conversation here. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way it is, right? We're all different. We're all different, and it's okay to be different. I really want to stress that. It's great that we're all different. We need to celebrate that instead of, you know, knocking people for it. So yeah, let me know. Let me know down in the comments. Do you only do premium diamond canvases? Do you do only budget? Do you do both? What do you do and why? Like, I don't like budget friendly canvases because of this, or I don't buy premium canvases because of that. Okay, your reasons are absolutely valid. So let me know. So that is one thing that I think makes me not a conventional diamond painter, because I do the full spectrum. Okay, and I do get some flack for that, by the way, too. And sometimes I wish people would be a little kinder about that, because you know, it is what it is. So when I purchase from budget-friendly companies, I'm not just like purchasing to purchase. I'm purchasing because I like the image. And I'm like, yeah, I really like the image of that painting. So I'm never just purchasing to purchase. I'm purchasing because I honestly like the way that it looks. And sometimes when I get it, it doesn't look the way they advertised it, but that's okay. That I expect that. So I know that going into it. I know that the drills aren't going to be as nice as premium canvas kits. I know that the clarity might not be as nice. Most of the time it's not, you know, etc., etc. So yeah. Another thing I don't do, I do not use the pink wax. No, I don't use the pink wax. And actually, if you saw one of my recent videos, we have been talking in our community here with Diamond Painting with Coco, in the Diamond Painting with Coco community, about our summer and how hot and yucky it was. And it was really causing problems with our putty. We were really struggling. People were putting it in the refrigerator to try to cool it down, you know, to get it so that it wasn't so stringy. And it was really frustrating. You know, it was leaving behind a lot of residue on the drills. And I was constantly, you know, getting in there with my tweezers. I tried different types of putty. And finally, and if you've seen the video, you'll know, one of my community members, who's also a friend of mine, sent me a video on double-sided tape. and I started using double-sided tape, and I was like, this is a game changer for me. Absolute game changer. I had heard of double-sided tape, but I was too afraid to try it. And now I'm not getting any residue. No residue. So that's the thing that really bothers me with the putties, is the residue. Now let's talk about that for a minute. So in the winter months, when it's colder, I don't have as big of a problem with the putty. But I don't spend a lot of money on putty, you guys. Now, at first, when I stopped using the wax, you know, it was like, buy this putty, buy this putty. I was watching other channels and it was like, oh, you got to try this putty. Oh, you got to try this putty. Oh, you got to try this putty. This putty does this, and this putty does that, and this putty does the other thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try that, you know, because they're telling me that, you know, this putty does this, that, and the other thing. So I have to buy it. And these weren't cheap putties. They just weren't. I quickly stopped purchasing putty, except for the inexpensive Art Dot Blue putty. Okay, that's the only putty that, as far as I know of, right now, as of currently, as of today, that I will be purchasing in the future. I am done spending my money on all these different, you know, this putty and nano tape and blah, 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 and it does this and it does that and it does that. That's great. And I think it's great if people are doing that. And I love that people are supporting small companies. I support small companies in other ways. So I'm okay with me saying, nope, I'm done with the putty thing. I'm either going to use double-sided tape, which is what I have in this pen right now. And I've already turned it 3 times. So I've gotten 3 uses out of it. I'm still using it, you guys. And we were way back up here. You can't see it. But we were way back up at the very first row with this double-sided tape, and I'm still using it. So that's pretty amazing. So yeah, I'm of the mindset that I would rather spend my money on canvases or maybe enhancement kits than putty. Okay, that's one thing I'm willing to let go of. I'm willing to let go of the expensive putties. I know they're really cute. They come in tins. They come in bags. They're scented. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so much fun. You know, I would love to have this huge stash of putty and look in my Windsor and, you know, go, oh, I can't wait to try that one. I can't wait. I'm not going to do it though. So I've just kind of let that go. And that's okay. I can do that. I think it's great if you're getting a lot of putty and that gives you joy. This is about creating joy in our lives. This is about creating relaxation in our lives. And if putty is your jam, do it. Absolutely. Because we're all different with the things that really we're into, right? Yeah, so absolutely go for it. I encourage you to do that. Do what makes you happy, right? Do what makes you sparkle. Do what makes you sparkle, as DAC would say. So yeah, I don't, okay? The other thing I don't do that I think a lot of conventional diamond painters do, and again, none of these are not okay. These are all fine. And the reason why I'm mentioning them is because I might be the odd duck here. I might be the odd duck. Let me know down below in the comments. Am I an odd duck? Well, we all know I am, but as far as, you know, the things that I'm talking about, I don't use washi tape around the edges of my paintings. Now, having said that, sometimes I have in the past. But y'all, I stopped doing it. I don't know why. I actually don't have a reason. I think I was just like, yeah, that's just more time. I don't want to do it now. I have all this gorgeous washi tape in my cabinet over here. Yeah, lots of gorgeous washi tape. Again, did I purchase it? I purchased some from Temu. I learned very quickly that was a bad idea. I was wasting my money. The ones that I purchased, at least, I found didn't have a lot on the roll. Also, it broke very easily, or, you know, tore very easily, and it was making me very frustrated. So let's say I got washi tape from a kit. I would keep that, right? I did try to find some washi tape from Walmart. Every once in a while they would have it. I even experimented with electrical tape. Scotch tape makes a washi tape. I experimented with that. You guys, I don't know. When I pull out a painting, I'm excited about doing it. I used to really love to sit down, measure everything out. I would measure everything out. I would get my measuring tape. I would mark my canvas and then, get rid of the marks. And I would have the washi tape all around the canvas. And then I would use the washi tape, and I would measure out the squares to have exactly the amount of squares that I wanted so that I knew how many days it was going to take me to do the canvas. I look back on that and I'm like, I think that's great. I had fun doing it. It was fun. I don't do it anymore. I don't want to. Maybe at some point I'll get back into it, but I just don't want to. It uses a lot of washi tape. What I find is I never have enough for an entire canvas, especially the premium canvases. Now, so I end up using like 2 different kinds, and to me, it's like, why did I even do this? Like now it's like, there's this type, it's just, I don't know. And sometimes I've even had to use 3, and I end up not really enjoying the way it looks. And also, if I have to roll my canvas, you guys will know this if you use washi tape, you have to be careful, because the washi tape, if you're using inexpensive washi tape like I am, it'll start to peel off. And it's very frustrating. You spend all that time measuring that stuff out and you roll up your canvas only to find that your washi tape is coming off. So that's something that I don't do, that I think a conventional diamond painter would do. I've seen lots of people do it. I think it's beautiful. Again, I enjoyed doing it. I don't know. I just stopped doing it. I'm not against it. I absolutely can probably guarantee you will see me doing it again, because I used to really like having like, okay, this square means you need to get it done in this day. Right now what I'm doing is something else. And well, I'll get to that in a minute. But I used to have it so like I knew for a fact I was going to be done with this canvas in X amount of days based on the squares. And to me, that's just how my brain was happy. It just made my brain happy that way. That's the best way I can explain it. And again, you need to do what makes you happy with this art. Look, when I make videos, these are all just ideas. They're just ideas. They're just thoughts. They're just opinions, right? So this is how we get ideas for, maybe we hadn't thought of something. I love watching videos. I love hearing from you guys. You guys are like, hey, Rami, I saw that you did that. You know how I do it? And I'm like, how? Tell me. I would love to hear how you do it, because that's how we get ideas. That's how we exchange ideas. There's been so many times that you guys have commented something down below and I'm like, oh, why did I never think of that? I don't know. Like with the double-sided tape. What? I don't know. I don't know. So it's just, I like videos like this where we can talk and have a nice discussion, a kind discussion about different ways that we do things, different ways we prefer to do things, and have a conversation and put some tips and tricks down in the comments, because I trust me, I will either go, whoa, hey, nice, I really like that, or I've tried that and whatever. So yeah, most of the time I don't use washi tape. I don't remember the last time I have. Does that make me a bad person? Am I kicked out of the diamond painting community now? I hope not. I do have a lot of washi tape though. So yeah, I am going to have to do something with it. I don't want to see it just sit there. But then again, I'm like, ooh, if I use it, then it might be all gone, because I don't plan on buying any anytime soon. Again, I would rather spend that money on diamond paintings. So that's just me. So yeah. I also wanted to talk about the fact with the putty. I don't know if you can, if you're noticing it, well, you probably can't see, but I'm a very, very hard placer. I place my drills really hard. What causes that? Does anybody have a thought on why some of us do that and some of us don't? I push really hard. So when I was getting putty, one of the putties that I tried was the Alien putty from Make Your Own Wall Art. And the reason why I did Alien, or no, it's Ocean. Sorry, Alien putty. Yeah, it was the Ocean. It was the Ocean. Was because it's super hard. It's not their hardest putty, but it's a very hard putty. And what I found initially when I started using it was, wow, this is great. This is perfect because I'm a hard placer. And so it wouldn't like, you know, kind of squish out, right? Because I'm pressing so hard. I'm pressing so hard. You would think my wrist or my hand would get tired, but do you guys find that your hand gets tired? I've heard some of you say that your hand gets tired. No? Let's take a look at this. I've never actually done this before, so I want to look at my hand. Let's take a look at my hand when I'm placing. Just a minute. This is how I place. So my thumb is here, my index finger is here, and these two fingers are down, and my pinky's sticking out. I don't know if that's going to help anybody, if we all do it like that, but my hand never gets tired. So I'm sorry about my nails. My hand never gets tired, but I'm a really heavy placer. So yeah, that's another reason why putties and I kind of, you know, don't jive. So yeah. What else? Okay, right. So one thing, to get back to the washi tape, one thing that I did notice I was doing was, okay, so Diamond Art Club has, and I'm sure you can see right now, I'm using, this is a Diamond Art piece. This is Succulents by Peggy Collins by Diamond Art Club. And it's got the perforated cover, right? So what I've been doing is I've just been sectioning it off using the perforations. Now, this is not my preferred method, and I'll tell you why. Depending on how these go through the machines, or when they go through, when they go through the machines, it determines where the perforations are, right? So this diamond painting went through the machine, but the one behind it that went through has different size, not different size, but it's in different areas. The perforations are in different areas. So like it might be shifted a little bit over. It's hard to explain. So one of the things that I have used washi tape for is not so much the perforated ones, because I leave the perforated on until I'm done with like this square, then I'll tear this off. And so I can see where the edges are. You know, I can see where the edge, well, on this one in particular, because obviously here's the canvas, and then the lines from where the other perforation was, and then obviously this is a line. So with the Diamond Art Club perforated canvases, I don't need to do this. However, there are some other premium canvas companies that, and not premium, that have just, you know, the plain cover sheet, right? And sometimes I want to use a certain section out of that, but it's one continuous piece of a cover sheet. So I need an implement to, let's talk about that too for a second. I need to cut it with something. So I use a ceramic pen to cut my canvas. If you haven't seen one of these before, can you see the tip on it there? Just this little right there. See that? That's what cuts the canvas right there. And I've heard from so many people, they're like, Rami, don't use those. And I'm like, why? They cut right through your canvas. I'm like, okay, Now, we can have a whole debate on this because I already know, and please, you feel free, leave it down in the comments, absolutely. But I know there's two camps on this. So the one side is don't use them. I've cut through my canvas, and the other side is what? How? Like, how did you cut through your canvas? Now, it's interesting that I have a heavy hand, but I'm very careful when I use the ceramic cutter. However, I know somebody this was a long time ago, came up with the idea to have a seam ripper, like a sewing, for people who sew. It's a seam. I actually have one. I don't have it here. I don't even know where I put it. I think it's in my Windsor, but it's a seam cutter. So basically what you do is you would lift up the cover sheet and you would use the seam ripper, because it's literally like this, right? And you would cut through the cover sheet. Now, I tried that and I didn't like it. I just did not like it. It depends on what the cover sheet is. So some cover sheets, they're really, really thick. Other cover sheets are really, really thin. So it just depends. Now, let's get back to what I was talking about with if it's a one-piece cover sheet with the washi tape. So if I have a diamond painting, even if it's a 30 by 40, sometimes what I'll do is I will use washi tape. So I will either first, usually what I do, this is usually my process. I will cut the size that I want off of the cover sheet. Okay, so I'll make a section. I'll cut it off, but I can't see where it ends. I cannot see for the life of me. And oh, this just drives me nuts. I can't see where the edge is on any side, except for if it's, if it's on the canvas part like this, of course I can see that this is an edge, but I can't see where it stops here or here or here. So what I have done with washi tape is I have put a strip of washi tape here, 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 right? So that when I'm going along, I know where to stop. I have been able to reuse the washi tape, maybe like once, but not always, as I go along. So that is one thing that I have found lately I have been using washi tape for. And I just do it one section at a time instead of doing the whole canvas all at once at the beginning. You watch. Next week, I'll do a video where I'm sectioning off a canvas. It's just the way I am. And you know what? That also is what makes me not a very conventional diamond painter. I am always switching up how I do things. I never do things the same way. I don't know why. It's odd, even to me. I don't tend to have a set way of doing something, and it's kind of how I've always been. When somebody suggests something, I feel like I just move. If I like the idea, I will move to that idea, and I kind of forget about how I used to do it. And then one day, all of a sudden, I'll move back to the old way I used to do things. And I'm like, wait a second, why am I doing it this way? And I'm like, oh yeah, this is how I used to do it. So it's how my brain works. All of our brains are different. We all do things differently. I think the bottom line here is we need to diamond paint in a way that makes it the most relaxing, the most convenient, the most calming as possible. So if something is bothering you, like this glue dot right now, if something is bothering you with your diamond paint, if you're finding yourself getting frustrated with the wax, if you're finding yourself getting frustrated with the trays, there's another thing. I don't spend money on trays. I have purchased 3 trays. I have purchased an Ephemera 3D, I have purchased a Bijou Bliss, and I purchased a yellow dog design. That's it. I will not spend any more money on trays probably. My friend really wants to get me a Firefly? What's it called? I can't, I'll have to ask her, but she swears by it. And I'm like, oh, okay. See, I listen to everybody. But again, I don't want to spend money on trays because I want to spend money on storage and I want to spend money on diamond paintings. Now, having said that, I guess I do buy trays because now we have things like tray bricks. We have things like Forever Young. And in fact, I was just thinking last night, I did a video recently. I did an unboxing of a storage system that I had just found. And the box was going that it came in that you're supposed to use for the storage. And my solution on the fly was to use a Diamond Art Club tray. The long trays that the paintings come in inside the box. And I realized that's not going to work. So I'm probably going to have to invest in a tray tower. Yeah, a tray tower. So again, I don't have any tray towers, but looking at this new system, I'm like, that might be something that I'm going to invest my money in. And so many people use tray towers. So again, see, I don't use those either. So let me know, what is the one thing that you could absolutely do do without? What is the one thing that you absolutely could not do without with diamond painting? And let's just take the tray and the pen away from it, right? Like, and I guess that's another thing too. I've only purchased 3 pens. The rest of them are all from Temu. They're all from Temu. Does that make me, I don't know. I buy pens that I like. So, I think the one thing that I would not be able to do without, it's going to have to be my light pad, I think, or my lights. I need light. I need light to see. You know, I'm not getting any younger. So yeah, I would say my light pad would be the one thing that I couldn't do without. What about you guys? Leave it down in the comments below. Let me know. Let me know what you think about what I was saying with, you know, different things, being a conventional diamond painter. Are you one? Are you not one? Does it matter? Are we labeling people? I don't know. I'm not trying to label people. I wanted to know, you know, how do you guys diamond paint? What do you use? What are your methods? You know, we don't really talk too much about that. We don't really talk about, you know, I mean, people will say, oh, I use washi tape on my paintings, but it's like, okay, details. Like, do you use it on the cover sheet? Do you use it just around here? Do you use it, you know, for like, I use washi tape for my pens. There's another way I use washi tape. So yeah. All right, I think you guys get the gist of this. This was just a short, quick video. I was sitting here diamond painting, thinking about the things I was using. I was like, oh my gosh, I really have a lot of stuff out here. And I'm like, interesting. Okay. I wonder if other people do that. I wonder if, you know, I mean, I've watched people, you know, they have this, that, and other thing. I mean, sometimes I watch some of these videos and the intros alone take 10 minutes because of all the product that they're using. And I'm like, wow. Like and I'm not judging them at all. What I'm trying to say is I'm sitting here going, wait, I don't use like hardly any of that. Is that like, I know it's okay, but it's like, I don't do that. Are there other people like me? You know, or I know we all like to collect stuff. There's stuff that we like to collect, but again, like okay, look, sometimes I skip forward on the videos. I skip it because there's just too much. It's like the amount of materials that the person is using to diamond paint just blows my mind. And I'm like, I will watch it and be like, okay, well, where did they get those? Like, oh, that looks really cool. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But then there's other times where I'm just like, they've been talking for 5 minutes, which is totally fine. I love that because we all need to, you know, I want to know too. But there are times where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm too overwhelmed. Like it's too much stuff. And I don't have the money to buy that. I don't have the money to buy that. It's like, I could do a little bit at a time, but, wow. Like, I think it's cool. I think it's great. I really do. I think it's wonderful. And I love how they're sharing it. I'm just saying for me, sometimes I get a little overwhelmed by that, and that's okay. It's okay to be like that. I'm not saying I don't watch their videos. I'm just saying that, you know, sometimes I have to just go forward a little bit, just a little bit, you know, so that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a little overwhelmed. This is a lot of product, and oh, I really want that. But like the rest of the stuff, no. So anyway, let me know down in the comments. Are you a conventional diamond painter? All right, you guys. Loves.